All right, let's just jump right in. We're living in this world of, self-driving cars, AI everything, things that are super efficient and quiet. So why are we still so completely captivated by these loud, beautiful, and, let's be honest, mechanically simple machines from decades ago? That's what we're going to dig into, why these classic cars still have such a powerful grip on us. It really starts with the senses, doesn't it? Before you even think about turning the key, you open the door and there's that smell. It's unmistakable. It's not just a car, it feels like a time capsule. Or that solid thud when you close the door, a sound that was engineered, not just manufactured. It's a whole experience that modern cars, for all their perfection, just can't seem to replicate.
And that feeling, it taps into something way, way deeper than just liking how a car looks or sounds. Our fascination goes way beyond the gears and the pistons. These machines, they become these powerful rolling containers for our memories, our family stories, and sometimes even who we are. So where does that connection even come from? Well, for a lot of us, it starts with a memory from when we were kids, right? That first ride in your grandpa's old pickup truck. Or maybe it's a family legacy, a car that's literally been passed down through the generations. And then, of course, there's the movies. I mean, come on, Steve McQueen's Mustang and Bullitt, that car is a character. Moments like these turn a piece of metal into a symbol, a true extension of our own identity.
And that right there is the key. When you see someone spending years in their garage, bringing an old car back from the brink, they're doing so much more than just fixing rust and tuning an engine. They are carefully, painstakingly preserving a piece of their own history. They're not just restoring metal, they are restoring meaning.
Okay, but that brings up a really important question. Not every old car becomes a legend, right? So what's the difference? What is that secret sauce that takes a car from just being old to being a true, undeniable classic?
Well, the definition isn't really about a specific date it rolled off the assembly line. A true classic is defined by its impact. Did it completely change the game when it came out? Does its design still stop you in your tracks decades later? And maybe most importantly, does it create that deep emotional connection we're talking about?
And that's really the core of it. Being old just means the car has, survived. But being a classic, that means the car mattered. Its story became a part of our shared culture, and its design hit a level of timelessness that just shrugs off passing trends.
And what's so cool is that icon status belongs to such a wild variety of cars. You've got the raw, unapologetic American muscle of the Mustang. Then there's the friendly, everybody's car appeal of the VW Beetle, the clean, precise German engineering of the Porsche 911, and the totally out there, futuristic design of the Citroën DS. Every single one is a legend for completely different reasons. But here's the twist. Here's the conflict in this whole story. As much as we absolutely love these cars, keeping them on the road in the 21st century is getting tougher and tougher. They're basically old souls trying to navigate a world that really wasn't built for them.
I mean, the challenges are serious. Big cities are bringing in emission zones that straight up ban older cars. Trying to find an original part can feel like a treasure hunt, and finding a mechanic who actually understands a carburetor? Good luck. Then you've got the very real safety issues. No airbags, no ABS, piled on top of rising insurance costs, and even a little social side-eye for driving something that isn't exactly green.
And this quote just nails it. It makes the whole problem feel so real. The simple act of driving your beloved classic through a modern city has become this obstacle course of fines and restrictions. It perfectly shows that clash between the passion we have for these cars and the hard realities of the world today.
But, and this is the important part, this isn't a sad story. It's not a story about things fading away. It's a story of adaptation. The classic car community is one of the most passionate and creative groups out there, and they are finding absolutely brilliant ways to bridge that gap between loving the past and needing to survive in the present.
And then that brings us right into the middle of a huge and sometimes, let's be honest, a pretty heated debate going on right now. When you update a classic with modern tech, could be an electric motor, could just be a better sound system, are you saving it for the future, or are you accidentally erasing the very thing that made it so special in the first place?
It really breaks down into two main camps. First, you've got the purists. They believe the original sound, the original feel, even the original smells and imperfections, that's the whole point. For them, an electric classic just isn't the same car. But then you have the modernists, and their argument is, look, a beautiful car that's broken down in a garage is basically just a heavy sculpture. For them, adaptation is the only way to keep these amazing designs on the road where they belong.
You see this whole journey perfectly in stories like this one, about a guy named Carlos who inherited his grandfather's old Chevy. That truck wasn't just a truck, it was his family's history sitting there. And after 2 years of pouring his heart and soul into it in his garage, he got it running again. For him, the goal was never just about preserving metal. It was about making a memory drive again.
And I think ultimately this quote gets right to the heart of why these cars still mean so much. In our world, which is becoming more and more digital, more abstract, there's something so incredibly satisfying about a machine you can actually see and hear and feel working. It's this raw, honest, mechanical connection that's getting harder and harder to find.
So in the end, it doesn't really matter if it's perfectly original or if it's been updated with the latest tech. A classic car is just so much more than the sum of its parts. It's a keeper of stories, a trigger for memories, a piece of rolling art that connects us to where we came from. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What important memories are parked in your own past, just waiting for you to take them for another drive?